Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Red Sea podcast. This is Dennis with you finally after a very long road, longer than I wanted to, recovering from a neck surgery. But I'm back, and it feels very, very good to be back. Today's gonna be I'll try to keep it as organized as possible, but as the title says, today is going to be mostly a catch up of everything and anything I've completely missed. Uh, and I'll try to give my opinions to anything uh, I can, but as always, uh, have to get through with this. Um, Do follow the show everywhere you want to if you like what you see. Of course, here, like and subscribe. Uh, we should be back full force now. I had, of course, the honor to be helped by Gav fully for a week and some. I've been back for some days now. Like a bit back 100% for some days now. I had been updating everyone on Twitter. For those of you who don't follow me on Twitter, please go and do so. It's where the show has the biggest audience and it's where the quickest updates come out. And the updates just keep getting indescribable low, which I'm so grateful for. Uh, So yeah, I had, as I was saying, I had the honor to be covered by Gab when I was gone. Uh, but now we should be back to normal programming. Mostly the two of us, but some solo ones from me as well. Uh, Around like once or twice a week, like it was. Uh, Pre-season is gonna be a bit weird, of course. The friendlies are gonna get full coverage, so will news and stuff. But there is some general planning going on behind the scenes to grow the show as much as possible and to keep upping the quality like I had been before I took that very necessary hiatus. And yeah, that's about it on the general planning. As I said, the show is on Twitter, very active uh, and very interactive as well. I try and respond to everyone and everything. Same as Instagram. Instagram is just a bit more rare and a bit more slow, but it's still active on the daily. And messages, comments, and stuff get responded to, if possible, of course, immediately. Um, Now, these episodes, for anyone who doesn't know, the normal episodes go up on Spotify a few hours after. Gav's episode didn't go up on Spotify because I couldn't get it up, given I was still running from doctor to doctor. I'll try and get it up now that I am fully back. Uh, and of course, the least active platform on this show. And now that I am making general plans behind the scenes as well, I will try and make a post plan and to see how I'll do things over on TikTok as well. Uh, because I wanna try and combine the audience of this show and just get everyone on every platform. And of course, as everyone saw today, I am more than open to any type of collab or any type of advice, idea, any message, honestly, anything. And it's honestly a pleasure to see and to be asked for uh, for collabs and I am hearing ideas in general. I'm of course talking about a Red Crowd, an account that is relatively new that I will probably keep a certain collaboration with on Instagram, so go follow him as well. Uh, his account is on the last co-post about Masuras' renewal. So yes, I think that's a perfect segue uh, to start with the football because the football has the most the most stuff to talk about. And it's honestly a lot to get through, so I'll try and get through it in an order, but I sadly can't promise a thing. Uh, I'll start by saying what I just mentioned. Of course, today the renewal, the official renewal of Yorgos Masouras was announced, and as always, as it happens always with Masouras, uh, the red and white uh, people have been fully divided. Uh, there has been some stuff that's been said. I'm trying to find the best word I can without bringing up Gers was in the first 8 minutes of this live. Uh, there has been some, not just illogical, there has been some crazy stuff said because I wound up to being a critic of Masura. I've been even an unfair critic of Masura. Uh, but I am happy he's here. I really am because Masuras is a player that won't, at least in my opinion, that won't ever complain if he doesn't play as a starter. Masuras is a player that knows what it means to be here. Masuras has been a part of our Greek core that we supposedly want to build so much. So uh, he may not be, he may not provide the quality to the team that, for example, a Fortunis does or a healthy Jelson Martins does, but he is a main part of the Olympiacos organization and he needed to be here and I'm very happy he's here. Now, moving on from that, uh, of course, people like Giovanni Cabral have left the team. Giovanni Cabral, Fran Navarro, uh, even the important loanies of Daniel Podence is uh, part of the Wolves preseason with a deal being in the works, of course. Uh, Andre Horta is back at Braga with a deal supposedly being in the works again, but we have heard that the the the, the approval of the deal is going to be relatively hard, as we also learned yesterday. The David Carmo saga didn't end in a positive way, whether that's to be described as too good to be true or whether that's to be described as expected. Uh, David Carmo was promised a starting spot in Porto, and he decided to stay there. Uh, and I honestly disagree so much with uh, all the people that have been cursing out Carmo in the worst of ways, because all the people that have been posting anything bad about Carmo are the people that were calling him the best of things uh, when he was playing that main part that he did, especially in our European run. So yeah, I just hate uh, how hypocritical a big part of not just our fan base but the Greek fan base can be many times. Uh, yeah, moving on from that, I said it publicly. I wish Carmo the best, and I am very grateful, as we all should be, in my opinion, for what he gave to us. Player of the season in the Super League was Ayub El Kabi, whose contract is also being worked on. Uh, and dare I say, is going quite positively, unless something insane happens, of course. Uh, I will go on a rant after this. Just, I want to get through the main things first. And as far as Ayub goes, it's been a very long, very tiring saga. The Ayub El Kabi thing. Fener have been very involved up until a point, whether that was true or not. Uh, Pretty sure El Kabi's manager or El Kabi himself came out and said that that was never true, which is again part of the rant I wanna make. Uh, but as things stand, it looks like Ayub El Kabi will stay. But again, because you never know with Greek media and sources, take it with a grain of salt. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Uh, Another person that has now left the team and is currently a free agent that I publicly expressed my disagreement over is Stefan Jovetic. Of course, Stefan Jovetic, a player that played not just an important part. I'd say Stefan Jovetic is a player that played a vital part in our European run. Of course, scoring the goal that did end up getting us the qualification against Maccabi, the fifth. Of course, El Arabi scored the sixth, but the fifth was the aggregate winner. A player that everyone respected and loved, a player that got and expressed love for the team, a player that never really caused any drama as far as I'm aware of, at least, and a player that would truly have been a luxury next season, and I truly believe that. But what can you do? Honestly, what can you do? Speaking of luxuries of next season, I am pretty sure I haven't caught that either. Like, pretty sure this all happened while I was gone. As we all know by now, Vicente Imbora has officially too now returned to Levante. He expressed love for everything about our club. For those of you who haven't read his goodbye message, please go do so. Um, but yes, all the best is to be said for that both player and person. Uh, of course, a player that arguably was even irreplaceable near the end of the season, a player that will forever be remembered for all he gave, especially in those two legs against uh, Aston Villa. A player of pure respect and absolute quality that got doubted as much as Jovetic did, honestly. And a player that ridiculed us all, me included. Uh, it's very sad that he's gone. I'd argue it's even more hurtful than Stefan that Vicente Borra is gone, but you can't do anything but grant the wish of a player that gave you his all, no matter what he heard, no matter what he saw. Uh, yes, Vicente received a lot of apologies. I have a forum somewhere in my Twitter that I'm pretty sure Regent Roses created. I I can't really put my finger on it right now, but all the apologies were deserved. All the apologies towards Vicente Bora were deserved. All the apologies towards Stefan Jovetic were deserved. And going to the third person that I wanted to mention, um, that is Kini. Kini who left the team again on a free, but Kini, a player that will stay in Greece and a player that will play for a honestly very surprising Atromitos. Atromitos who of course appointed Pablo Garcia as their coach, and Atromitos who's made moves that maybe that's a bit of an overstatement, but Atromitos who's made moves that are showing a Europe desire. Of course, the league is going to have a new format next season, a format that I'm very on the fence about. Uh, for those of you who haven't seen, the playoffs will be four teams now in the top four. Uh, then fifth to eighth, and fifth to eighth will fight for the final European spot with their points, I think, divided by two from the end of the regular season, and then the rest of the table will fight to avoid relegation in the playouts as it was. I did think about that. Uh, Atromitos is fooling us as they do every year. I know Atromitos make some moves every year that do impress on paper, but appointing a coach that, as much as I hate, because I hate Pablo Garcia with a passion, but appointing a good coach, a coach that kept Panserikos up comfortably and going on to make countless moves, quality after quality after quality, with everyone having a role, and pulling a player like Kimi, a player that has countless experience in the Spanish divisions, and a player that for a team like Atromitos is maybe even unheard of. No disrespect to Atromitos, of course. And I truly love seeing teams just build, build, organize an identity and just push for things they don't usually get, in which the positive of the format comes in my eyes, because as I said, I'm very on the fence. Uh, with that three-team mini bracket per se, there is a big chance that Aris won't be the one to get the final ticket, because it creates some sort of unpredictability. So we'll see. I'm intrigued by Atromitos this year, to say the least. I'm very intrigued. No, this that the format won't work when we don't have five European tickets. First of all, the league is moving. The league is finally moving in a way that is more serious. The league in general is finally moving in a way that doesn't look like a third world country league per se. And with us lifting the conference league, that is an even bigger push towards staying where, in my opinion, Greece deserves to be. And even looking at the national team with Ivan Jovanovic being appointed, it looks like everything's been taken a bit more seriously. Of course, corruption won't go away, stupid media won't go away, the Greekism, αυτή η μαλακία στον εγκέφαλο. That won't go away. That needs years to go away. But it seems like everything is finally being pushed towards the right direction, at least slightly. So I hope five European tickets stay as a guarantee. I really do. And yes, that was the point I was making. That we'll have a new team in Europe. There is a big chance that it won't be Irish, for example. Irish, by the way, who have an insane punishment penalty, call it whatever you want, uh, with all their players having a too much ban, and I think the coach and the coaching staff as well. Uh, so we'll see about that. We'll see if the challenge of the ban goes through, or if they'll have to play the under 19s their first few games. Uh, but yeah, as I was saying, I'm very intrigued by Atromitos this year. They do have seven players available. I'm surprised. No, I talked about the new format. There it is. There was a loan that I completely missed reporting on before I go to transfers and stuff that have happened. Uh, Konstantinos Kostoulas. Of course, we know that Babis Kostoulas is in Netherlands to train with the first team. Uh, his brother Konstantinos Kostoulas has moved on loan with, as far as I know, I am gonna get to Agibu. I am just trying to cover bases because I have a lot to talk about, and I may honestly do uh, a two-parter if I see that this is taking too long. I may even go live like tomorrow as well. I'll say. Uh, but yes, Babis' brother Kostas Kostoulas has moved to uh, Rio Aves under 23 to play in the Liga Revelação on loan to boost his development in a league that's known for the talent it produces, and in a league that's known for the the academy quality. Uh, so yeah, of course we wish him the best, and I really hope he comes back and gets integrated in the first team properly. Moving on from that, I want to get to the people that have left. Uh, I want to get through the people that have left. I meant Maxi Lovera has also left the team, moving permanently back to his home country. Uh, for I think it's around 800k. I think it may even be 800k spot on. Let me actually check. I have it somewhere here. Yes, it's 800K. He moved to. Jesus, I'm afraid I'll butcher this completely. Yes, he moved to Central. Okay. Uh, yes, the next one. The next one is a move I covered, and a move I'm honestly sad about. Uh, of course, you know that I'm I'm very for giving people opportunities, and I will so bias towards players that truly love this thing. And a player I've always been very positive over, and a player I've loved is Marius Βρουσάη. Uh, the multi-machine, το το πολυεργαλείο. Excuse my slight fuck ups. Been a while, actually. Let me drink some water. Better. Uh, but yes, as I was saying, Marius Vrusai has moved on a permanent to Rio Ave after a very successful uh, loan last season. Uh, and yeah, truly wish him the best because he deserves the best. I think he's there until 2027, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, so yeah, it's very sad. It's honestly very sad. I am sad even talking about it. Uh, but what can you do? The kid deserves time. The kid really deserves playing time, and I hope he gets it. Yes, he is staying in the group per se. I really don't know how to feel about this still. I mean, it has been getting us some decent moves, to be totally honest. Uh, but I don't know how I feel about this group thing yet. We'll see. Uh, I want to stay in the FC for a bit. I'm just trying to look. Uh, don't want to talk about Marinakis and stuff right now because stuff is weird. It is a very weird situation right now. Uh, yes, my bad. I talked about player of the season and I didn't talk about goal of the season. Of course, goal of the season was awarded to Daniel Podence. For that, I was mistaken at the start and I thought it was the goal against Panathinaikos, but it is, as far as I'm understanding, the goal against PAOK that got awarded the goal of the season. But yes, our magician, hopefully soon on a permanent deal, did get awarded the Super League goal of the season, and it's more than well deserved because everything this man produced was just gold this year. It was absolute gold. I'm not gonna get into rumors. I don't want to get into rumors and stuff. I mostly want to stick around what I'm sure of, if that makes sense. I do give my opinions on stuff on Twitter, even if I'm not sure sometimes. But for those of you who know me a bit more, you know that uh, I want to be more certain about stuff before saying it publicly. No. Uh, Going to the inns for a second, if I remember anything. That's why golf is a must on this show because my memory just goes fully blank sometimes. Uh, Staying at the inns for a bit. Uh, Stamenic, 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 of course, being bought from Red Star Belgrade, our brothers on paper now as well. Uh, by Nottingham and coming here on loan. Uh, I'm very hyped to see him. I think uh, that this is gonna be very underrated move. Of course, high praises from all around Europe for the player. Especially high praises for the game he had against Manchester City at the start of last year, with some English articles saying that he's still chasing Phil Foden. uh, of course, Dani Garcia coming in from Athletic Bilbao. Uh, Dani Garcia, who will, in my opinion, offer that old school factor and that power factor in the team that this team needs, similar to what Ibora offered. Alexandros Anagностopoulos coming in to fill in that third keeper spot. Uh, Anagностopoulos, arguably even the best keeper of the lower side of the league last season, and I'm very happy he's in the team because, as I said, as long as a move is made with logic and a role, good enough and more than welcome. And more recently, Costinha, player that I have talked about many times, player that has been ours since December, and a player that, in my opinion, will take the torch from Rodinei once he either decides to call it quits and go back to his home country, or once he just slows down as is humanly expected. I think he'll take the torch from Rodinei perfectly, but that is a very, very dangerous duel to look forward to down the right flank. Uh, we are now looking, of course, for a centre back as well after everything that's happened. Uh, and as I said, nothing sure on the Orta Podens. Why did I forget? And the El Gabi cases. We'll see. Time will tell, honestly. Now, now to talk about a story that came out this morning. That that's been very weird, in my opinion, and I've said it to some people that have fully agreed with me. So I am more than okay to say it publicly. Uh, the Ajibu Kamara situation. If the comment wants to show up, thank you. The Ajibu Kamara situation. Olympiacos have apparently blocked Ajibu Kamara from going to the Olympics with his country, so he gets evaluated by Jose Luis Mendilibar. And with the Horta situation getting harder and harder, as it seems, uh, maybe he has a role to play next season. I have been calling for Agibu to come back. I didn't want him uh, as an anti-Orta because we all know how much I've appreciated Orta as a player, and we all know how much of a must I consider under Orta in this team. Uh, I fear for the move that we made. Like, even if Mendilibar wants Ajibu, even if uh, it ends up that Ajibu wants to stay, if Mendilibar convinces him, it's risking attitude, it's risking player club relationship, at least in my opinion, because we know that Ajibu doesn't have the best of relationships with the club right now. Uh, and depending on his motivation of going to the Olympics, it's a risk to block him. I know we fully had the right to, but it's, in my opinion, it's a risk. Hopefully, it's worth it. Hopefully, it's worth it because I want to believe in Ajibu. I really do. And of course, another player that I want to believe in and that has posted about being back here as well is uh, Pep BL. Pep BL. Pep BL that can be, in my opinion, one of the two extremes. Pep BL under Mendilibar will either find his Copenhagen form, the form that we all saw, the form that we loved, and the form that, in my opinion, got us to buy him in the first place, or Pep BL will come back, show the same thing he did before he left, show the same thing he did out in the Bundesliga, which is nothing. I don't know if it's a gut feeling, I don't know if it's bias, I don't know if it's anything. I feel like he'll create problems here, and I don't think it's worth it. Uh, of course, full trust on Mendilibar. I do want to believe in both BL and Najibu, as I said, but I just hope it's all worth it. There is a rumor I want to tackle. There is two rumors I want to tackle on the FC department, and then I'll talk about preseason. And depending on the time, uh, I'll see what I'll do. I'll see what I'll do. Uh, a rumor that's been circling in the last few days is a rumor I'm honestly disappointed over. Maybe that's an overreaction. Maybe it's a bit of lack of knowledge, but uh, a move that I don't know if it's believable. As I said, take everything with a grain of salt, unless I say otherwise myself. A rumor that uh, a rumor that has been getting closer and closer. Yeah, we all know that I'm not one to hide my feelings, whether I'm right or wrong. Is John, however his name is, Bautista, the the Eibar center forward. The Eibar center forward whose stats haven't been the most encouraging. I think this is the first time. Last season was the first time he got. Uh, ah, uh, χαρά μου. Είπα και για το λογαριασμό σου, είπα και γενικά για το ότι είπαμε Στην αρχή της εκπομπής θα μιλήσουμε και μετά. Πάντως, ανέφερα το λογαριασμό σου και είπα το ότι μακάρι να βοηθήσει και που το ανέφερα live. Χαρά μου πάντως, αλήθεια χαρά μου. Και άμα ποτέ θέλεις να είσαι σε κάποια εκπομπή, μου λες, κανένα πρόβλημα. Χαρά μου να βοηθάω γενικά. Η εκπομπή είναι αγγλικά πιο πολύ, γιατί έχω και άτομα από ό,τι είδες και εσύ και από το post που με ακολουθούν, που δεν είναι από Ελλάδα, αλλά και τα ελληνικά είναι ευπρόσδεκτα. Μιλάμε για μετά. After that break. As I was saying, I think it's the first season where Bautista scored double digits, which for a center forward, mm, mm. Don't know if it will happen. Don't know if there has even been a proper offer being made. God knows, honestly. Now, the second rumor I wanted to talk about, Nicolas Pepe, the free agent Nicolas Pepe. He's an option. I don't know if he is potential plan B, but he is an option. An option that's demanding a very high wage, apparently. An option that, again, maybe it's the hugely pessimistic side of me sometimes, but an option that I don't think is worth the high wage. An option that's not been at its best since we spunked Arsenal back in 1920. Can't say I've watched him in Trabzonspor. Like, I want to be totally honest. I haven't watched him in Trabzonspor. But I know he hasn't been at his best. I don't know what will happen, but I wanna talk about these things. Now, to get to the friendlies, and probably close it off. Honestly, this will be a two-parter. To get to the friendlies, the first friendly of the team is one of the hardest ones, if not the hardest one. Depends on how you count Nottingham. And that's against Ajax in the 19th. What's for sure is that things need to have moved by then. The announcement of Masura's renewal was a good start, but things need to have moved by then. Because as things stand, no matter how good the LKB situation is going, we can't face Ajax with 16-year-old Babis Kostoulas having to play a full 90. We can't do that. Maybe BL will play, maybe someone else will play. But we can't face Ajax with one center forward, and that center forward being 16 years old. And now with one center back as well, with Carmo not coming back. Kusidis will play, probably. Kusidis and Regis. Or Endoy and Regis. I don't even know what's happened with Endoy's contract. I need to look that up. I hope. I believe that Kostoulas will have a wonderful career. I believe that Kostoulas will be taken care of immensely because he's been probably our brightest project. Uh, as long as I've watched the team, at least. Um, so I hope he's our own. I mean, I really do. But yes, moves need to be made. It's gonna be a big test. Uh, Next we face Al Qadsiya. Don't want to butcher this name, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Which is, if I'm not completely mistaken, the team Michel coaches. Uh, then we face Nek Nijmegen, the Dutch team. Then we come back. Yeah, I told you all it's been a while. Spare me, please. The Al Qadsiya friendly is in the 26th, and the Nek Nijmegen, again, butchering that probably. Sorry. The next Nijmegen friendly is in the 27th. Then coming back from the Netherlands, we face Nottingham on the 8th of August in the Georgios Karaiskakis in what's basically going to be an annual friendly now. Uh, and then 20th off, we go to Cyprus to face Aris Limassol in the 10th of August. Good test. It's good friendlies. You can't say it's bad friendlies. It's very good friendly. A lot is to play for, and a lot is to be talked about. Honestly, what will you say? I am actually gonna end it here. I didn't expect. I'm not gonna end it here. Forgot to talk about Ivan, another player that has left on loan with an option of I think around 1.3. Is player that I really hope doesn't get bought out because it's a player that I really believe in. That's Ivan Brinic, of course. Uh, Now I'm gonna end it here. It honestly feels so good to be back. Then that's not an overstatement at all. I'm so happy to be back and I have so many uh, things to do and talk about and so many plans. I'm so grateful to have you all along with me. For whoever made it this far, as I said, if you like what you saw, there is a lot more and better coming. Do like and subscribe. Do follow everywhere. Uh, I'm happy to be back, honestly. Uh, Part quote unquote two of my return may even happen tomorrow. I'll update everyone because I still want to talk about the basketball. I want to talk about the countless moves that the Erasitechnis has done. And I want to talk about the sneaky finally qualifying for the Olympics. So yeah, for today, that's it. You all don't know how relieved I am to be back. Talk to you soon.